Synth TV.
Hey everybody, CatSynth TV with Polymath composer JG Thirlwell discussing his multi-channel, multimedia piece, Silver Mantis.
Hi, I'm JG Thirlwell for CatSynth TV, and I will be performing my project Silver Mantis. I've been doing pieces for surround sound for about 10, 12 years in the performance aspect, and before that, since the early 2000s, I've been doing multi-channel sound installations, and in fact, I did an album in 2010, a Manorexia album, which was in 5.1. So I've had a lot of interest in surround sound for quite some time. The first iteration of what I'm doing now at Silver Mantis was called Color Nocebo. And that had a film that was made by myself and Gia, who is an artist friend of mine. And that was a film of continuous trips to out to Long Island, edited together and sped up, and that was the core of it, the first iteration. And so I decided I wanted to do something which would be in surround. I chose quadraphonic because it's more malleable for a club to set up two speakers in the back. It's much easier than trying to set up a center speaker and subwoofer and so on. And it really achieves a lot of spatial depth anyway. So I did color nocebo for a while, a different aspect of that was using prepared piano. And that was kind of a major way to get out from just working with laptop samples, keyboards, and so on. And on that project, I also used other instruments. I used auto harp and EBOs and various other things, depending on setup. And I was even using percussion instruments and so on. So the next generation was Silver Mantis, and I commissioned a film from Sten Backman, who is a Swedish artist I met in Stockholm when I was working with the Great Learning Orchestra there. He was a member of the Great Learning Orchestra, and I saw his visuals, and I liked him a lot. And so he made the film, and then I just reimagined the musical building blocks for Silver Mantis. And it's probably a bit more rhythmic this time. And this time I used theremin as well as prepared piano. That's one of the major differences with Color Nocebo. So it's really been good to have a solo mobile piece that's modular, changes, it accommodates improvisation, and I can do it, most places. I never really know 100% what I'm going to be doing until I get up there, although I have some preset building blocks and a roadmap that I usually stick to, but I can change that and make, movements, contract them or expand them depending on how I feel. I can go in a more ambient direction, I can go in a noisier direction, a more rhythmic direction, depending on how what mood takes me, and some of the aspects of what's happening in the performance space at the time as well. I can respond to that. The video is fixed. The video was created by Sten Backman.
Oh, okay.
He created it from, a few prompts from what I said, but I'd seen his work before, and that was kind of what led to what we did. I also got him to make a film for my Xordox project, which I perform in front of as well. Yeah, this can be recorded. I have made a recording of Color Nocebo, a studio recording of that, but I haven't quite figured out how I want to release it yet. But it will probably be something along the lines of what I did with the Manorexia album, where it would be a CD and a DVD or a Blu-ray and a stereo version and a surround sound version in one package. So I might release Color Nocebo first and then Silver Mantis. I'm planning a third iteration of this, but I've also been doing another surround piece, which is the live score of a film by Harry Smith that's also in surround sound. So I'm moving a lot more in that direction. So Silver Mantis is probably has more in common with my Manorexia project, but and where it's come from has been probably more influenced by my work in sound installation, my work in soundtracks, and also a lot of the building blocks are more influenced by sound design as opposed to necessarily tonal structures. Um, and and it's it definitely has some, sometimes it can have that rhythmic slant. I would say that there's always been threads of jazz and classical running through all of my work since the very start of it. But there's different aspects of what I do satisfy different artistic needs of mine. The next big release will be the new Foetus album, which comes out in December. After that, I'm hoping to do an album of my soundtracks that I made for Ken Jacobs, then another volume of soundtracks from the animated show Archer, and then probably the Color of Nocebo album. I think that's the sequence. After that, I've really started to increase my output. Several reasons, maybe I'm more conscious of my mortality. I'd like to, certainly with the Foetus project, I decided that this was the last Foetus album, and because I want to have an opportunity to create an ending to that project, and that's why it took so long to do. If I didn't know what that would be. And now I think I know what it is. Which is not to say that, there'll be a companion album to the Foetus album, which will come out a little later, and there'll be some anthologizing as well for, we'll see where it goes after that.
To find out more about the work of JG Thirlwell, including recordings and upcoming performances, please visit his official website and check out the description below this video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to CatSynth TV.
This is JG Thirlwell, and you are watching CatSynth TV.